This is the octagonal flat template set for making these flip over cards and that. Now I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to get in this set, but don't forget this applies to all the different flip over cards that you're going to get. Flip and fold, or whatever you want to flipping well call them. I get so confused. Oops, don't you go anywhere. And I'm going to show you this, but listen, when you've seen this technique, just think, is that all you can do with it? Nope. Have a look at all the different options you've got. You've got diamonds, you've got hearts, you've got rectangles, you've got slimline. You can make loads of different things. So from this one set, you've got various options of using them. And because you can print them out time and time again, you can create different templates by cutting in different areas to create your own template. And then you start building them up. Anyway, what I'm going to do is show you what you're going to get in the octagonal flat topped. Now, what do I mean by flat top? Well, let me show you. There's this first one here. I was going to print this onto parchment just so you can see. Now you can see it. Now look between the eyes. Anyway, there is the basic design. That's a really nice big size card, but it's also big enough to put into an A4 envelope, so you can still fold it flat and it can be posted. And it's also your basic sizes as well. You've got the basic octagonal template here with the various options. The dotted line in between is where you fold the second section to create the actual leg of the card. So that's the one, that's number one. That's number 2 size. Then you're also going to get number 3 size, number 4, number 5, and the smallest number 6. Now I'm going to use template number 3. So that's that size. It's the medium size one. Now from that, you've got various options. Again, I'm going to show you how to make something, but give you an option. You can print that off directly onto the card that you're going to be using. I've got a nice piece of card here. I've cut it out, I've printed it directly onto this nice buff coloured card, and then I could cut all these pieces out. I'll show you how to do that. I'll give you a tip in a minute, but I just want to show you how you can make your own templates. Now, there's the first template. You cut that out and leave it like that, or you can draw around it. What I did, I drew around it, and onto another piece of card, and I marked off exactly where the fold line was, and I've got that template to use time and time again. So if you want to create your own plastic one, get a thick piece of plastic and put your template over it and create your own one. Now the next one, I've taken all these rings here and I've cut them all out individually. Now I can use these both 2 different ways. I can use that as a frame and I can mix and match these as much as I want. Or if I take a piece of paper or card, if I want to make a frame, I would put this onto my card and butt it up to there. I'd draw around the outside and I'd draw around the inside, then cut it out, and I've got a frame. If you want different colours, this is a good way of doing it. If you want a mat and layer, well then I'd just draw around the outside, then I'd create the first mat, and then I'd take the next one down, and I'd put that in a different colour or what have you, and I'd draw around the outside so you'd have a solid one. Now, what I've done here is I've printed this directly onto here because I've cut these out already because I didn't want to waste time with you. But instead of doing it this way, where you print all these out, so say I wanted to do different colours of frames and that, well, this is the best way to do it with all the cut out pieces. But if I want them all the same colour, then it's easier and quicker if you just print out onto the colour you want, then you're only going to be using this, you're not going to waste any bits of paper. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Now what I do is, first of all, because I like scalpels, but I also like scissors. But which are the best? Fight! No, we'll not go there. This is the way I do it. You might want to just use scissors, but if you use scissors, when you're always starting off cutting out, you always make a bit of a mess and you get a big gouge. But I'm trying to do this so you're economical, you don't waste anything, and also we're not using lots of different paper. So the way I do it is to just score down just on the edge of where the line is for each one. Now I can go round, but for me, it's not quick enough for me. I'd like to do it this way, and I'm pretty okay with scissors. If you're a little bit scared of scissors or a bit scared of scalpels, you've always got different options. But I'm just showing you the quickest way that I know of cutting these templates out, or all the ones that you're actually going to use. And if you print it all onto what the same, if you're going to use the same colour, or you might do it on two and you can make two cards then. First, all I'm doing is just cutting along one line of all the different sections there. That then gives you enough room and enough play to go in there with your scissors and just cut out the next, cut out all the way around. So you cut out the large one like that, go all the way around, cutting it out. And don't forget, when you look at all the different videos, you'll get lots of different options and lots of different tips and advice. We try to give you something, a new idea with each one. So this one, I'm making multicoloured, no, same coloured templates, same coloured frames. So I've cut that section out, cutting all the way around here, and then cut around there. For me, this is the easiest way I do it. And then I end up with that. That can be used again with a different card. Now, the easy way of cutting the next one out is just put your scissors in there and then just cut the next frame out. Like so, and just do it carefully. If you just go down the black line and just slowly turn it. Now I'm left-handed, so I'm going this way round. If you're right-handed, you go the other way round. And you can see I'm neatly cutting the frame out. I'm not using a scalpel, which I find after a long time, when you're using card, you're using your scalpel and it can get a little bit kind of, make your hands ache a little bit. So if you think, oh, I'm not doing that with a scalpel, it takes me so long, I never get the line straight. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just cutting out the frames gently, and this way you're not going to disfigure the frames, you're just going to take it gently. Don't forget, I'm doing this back to front, upside down, so it's more difficult for me. You'll have them in front of your face and you can cut precisely. And when you're cutting, don't do little snip, 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 snip. Try and use your scissors. Try and do them so that you're doing one long cut. That's all, almost to the end there, and just move them up a little bit, and then you've got your final snip. Then you've got your perfect frame or template, whichever way you want to use it. Turn that over, and you've got the pattern on the outside, but there's the frame to use. And then all you do is keep on doing that, and you're just cutting. I can't find my slits. There you go. It goes in there, Chuck. There you go. In there it goes, and then just start snipping out the next frame, like so, and just follow that round. And you've got the next frame cutting out. I'm not going to carry on cutting those out, but you can see the principle, how easy it is to cut those out. I've already cut some out for a design that I'm going to be doing with you. So, right, to make your template, to make your card, I've taken my first template and I've drawn around it. I've drawn around it onto the card I'm going to use. Then I cut out number 1, and then I cut out number 2. Number 2, I creased across where the line is on here. You can see the line across. I creased that, so that folds over like that. And then that's going to stick on the back. So let's do that bit, and then we can do part of the decorating bit before you take it any farther. Now, the principle this works, if you've not seen the other videos yet, that's like the two together, as you can see. But the way it works is, this is identical in the middle. That fits over the top there. That sticks down, and then that folds over, and that becomes the back leg of the card. So all I've got to do now is stick it down. Now, normally I use double-sided tape, but I'm going to use a little bit of glue this time, a little bit of wet glue. I've just got my glue pen here. It's probably all going to fall apart, but because I haven't got the time for it to dry, but let's try. So position that exactly where it should go, and that's precisely in the middle there. If you get, when you fold it over, you've seen any little signs of bits where they're not exactly, they're kind of showing, you know, like this side. Can you see on this side here? I've just not quite stuck it down enough. So simple. Just take your scissors, turn that over, and just think, oh well, I'll snip that bit up. Now it's perfect. Now it's perfect. And then you've got your card that sticks up like that, and you've got the back of the card there, so that stands up nicely. Now, that's what your template does. You can do a really basic design like that. Now, what I've also done is I've taken what I showed you to do, cutting all the different frames out, and I've cut these out ready. So there's one. As you can see, there's one. Is that the one I cut out? Or is it that one? No, it's that one. There you go. What's that one? No, that's the lighter one. That's right. I got it right first of all. So there's all the different frames I cut out that I showed you. This is only like a paler yellow. Now you can play. You've made your card. Now there's frame number 1. Now I could just put that on the outside like that. So it frames the card, and then I could decorate it on the inside. And then I could, if I wanted to, put the next one in the middle. I'm going to miss that one out. I can use it for another card, but then I can put the next one in there like that. But obviously the other way around, so you're not seeing the lines. And then that one could go in the middle there, and I've got a nice frame. There's lots of connotations of doing that, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a frame like this, which is slightly off center, like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on each of these corners here, where that's going to stick. I'm going to stick the first one down, but to start this off, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there, but then at the base of this one, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue again, and then I'm going to stick that down. I'm going to stick it down. See, that's flat topped, but I'm actually going to stick it so that it's pointed at the top, and I'm going to get these little gaps in between, and I'm going to create a geometric design using, and you see I'm just pressing that down where the little bit of glue is underneath there. That's that. Now even that on its own is different because you've got a frame around there, but you've got little gaps here. That's interesting. That's different. You could thread wire through there, you could thread ribbon through there, you could cross over. So that is a technique you could use. But I'm going to show you how you can use those old frames and create something really geometric and kind of, wow, that looks fantastic. Now the next one, I've got the next one here. So then all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on each of the corners. Well, I'm saying corners, each of the little bits there. Just one little bit of glue. Now I could put little foam pads if it was a bit psycho, and I had the time. You could put foam pads. Now I'm going to stick this slightly off center, so the points are in the middle there, and just slowly go around. Press it down, and you've got another frame there, but you've got a really interesting frame. You've got that frame there that gives that effect. So you could leave it at that if you wanted to. Let me just line this up a little bit better. It's not exactly in the middle where I want it. There you go. Because I'm using glue and it can still be moved around and get that exactly where I want. So that is another frame all the way around, and how different is that? I've done it in these colours so it really stands out for you, but that could have been a blue, that could have been a light blue, you could have dark blue going into very pale blue. It's entirely up to you. Now I'm going to take the next one, and it's just a case of creating something interesting. Then you can put whatever you want on it. You can put some decoupage on there, you can put just a satin rose or something. Then the next one goes in the middle there, and try and line it up as straight as possible, like that, so you're creating that effect like that, and press it down like so. And again, you could stop there if you want to. You're creating an interesting frame all the time. You'll have more time for it to stick down. And I said, if you had foam pads underneath there, if you had time to cut those out and layer it up, you would get more of a 3D look. So then you've got another look to the frame using the same templates. You could stop there, but why stop there? I very seldom do. A bit more glue. Let's use all of these, and then we can see the effect. But as I'm going along, you can stop at any time, but I'm just trying to show you the wonderful geometric effects you can create from that one cut-out frame effect. That's sticking down there, and you can see. Now I could stop there if I wanted to, and just put a little decoupage in the middle. The frame's getting more and more intricate, and I've got one more here. The last one I think I'll put on, but I may not stop there, who knows. And just a little bit of glue. And this one goes there, in the centre. Now, I could carry on going right into the middle. There you go. And you're creating that wonderful frame effect just by offsetting and just slightly changing. You're creating this geometric set. I could, if I wanted to, finish it off with that one in the middle, and that would finish it like a complete circle. Go on, I'm going to do it. I don't care. Live dangerous. I'm just going to stick that down. Make sure I get it the right way around. And I'm going to stick that solid bit there. Now then you've got that really interesting flip over card, and you've taken the frame and you've used that completely different again, and you've created that wonderful geometrical swirling effect. And if you did that on, as I said, if you just print it onto one piece of card, that's what you can do. If you print it onto 6 pieces of card, which are different colours, you can mix and match. So you could do 6 different cards and create, or you could do 2 cards and just alternate the colours. You could have a pink and a blue. You could do, it's entirely up to you. I'm just showing you the basic way of doing that. But that you need to download the cards to actually make a beautiful card like that. So what do you need to do? Well, first of all, you've got to download your templates. You can just come back to me, Lorraine. Just download your templates and then print out whatever sheets you want, whatever size you want. And don't forget, when you see every sheet, you can create any templates from those. There's more than one way of using them. You've got full control over them, and then just build those up as you go along. Keep looking at all the other different videos. We're adding all the time, and you'll go, oh, wow, I can do that. Oh, I never thought of doing that. And that's what it's all about. Then tell your friends, and then get them to watch the videos. And before you know it, you'll find one sheet of paper, printed out, very affordable. You can do hundreds of different connotations of that for your crafting. So if you like the flat-topped octagonal template to make something like that, that's the download you need to get.